Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy, so click the link in the video description and it'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? As promised, I'm increasing the frequency of my videos. This will be my second one released within 24 hours. Hopefully, unless I get kidnapped or something like that. Don't call the police if not, maybe I just got lazy. Either way, we have some Bronzor Cup, otherwise known as Little Cup, as Niantic would have you believe, but really, it is the Cup of the Bronzor. And today, we're not running a Bronzor team. We are being decorous, non-toxic gamers. We are running a non-Bronzor team because I'm pretty sure if I release a Bronzor video, none of you guys will be watching it. I was excited to release a Great League and a Little Cup video kind of at the same time so we can see kind of who is watching more of what cup or who is playing more of what cup. But the queue times I was getting yesterday in Little Cup, I feel like already answered that question. So for those of you watching this video, I appreciate it in advance. We have an ABB team here. Seal in the lead, Shelmet and Shadow, Alolan Sandshrew. That's what the SA Sandshrew stands for. It's not just spelling its name out. It's not like a high school cheerleader cheer or something like that. It's an ABB team. Usually when you have something weak to fighting in the back, you have your second B is also weak to fighting. In this case, fighting is not a threat in Little Cup. It's really just why not that has any sort of fighting move. So the real threat to Sandshrew here, fire types. Fire types actually common in this cup. It might be the only cup where fire types are common. I don't know if you saw the Great League video, Triple Grass worked in Great League, so that's just a testament to how uncommon fire types are in GBL in general. But we do have fire types in the form of Litleo, Litten, how could I forget, Vulpix, and Growlithe, I believe. Those are probably the main fire types you'll see. And Shelmet does a great job at not only drawing them out, but forcing them to throw energy, getting them low enough for Seal to farm down, and Seal does a great job of transitioning a farm down into shields, taking shields off of common Pokemon that it would normally be switching out of, or Lick Seal at least, in this case. This team also, if you're into that kind of thing, if you know Ferrixter, he runs a challenge as well. I don't know the exact details of his challenge by heart, but essentially was to run a team in Little Cup with no Bronzor, no ground types, no fire types, pretty much no dark types, pretty much no types that counter Bronzor. And you know what? This team fits the bill, actually, and I did not design it around this challenge. I was told after I created it. In fact, I created this team in a meta-analysis video for Patreon supporters only. Actually, one of my Patreon supporters, D-Strit, recommended I run Shelmet instead of, I don't remember what I originally was trying to do, I think Vulpix on this team. So, and honestly, Shelmet has been so good, but sorry, I've been rambling long enough. Let's get into the battles. So, we had a pretty bad lead there with the Vullaby. Feint Attack Vullaby, not the Air Slash version. So, swap out into Shelmet, and this is exactly what you want. Shelmet baits out that fire type that Sandshrew absolutely can't deal with. Is able to force the Vulpix to throw energy, and now the Vulpix is also in farm down range, so that hopefully the Seal can not make it to an Icy Wind, but get close enough that this Icy Wind can deal some significant damage to the Vullaby. So try and throw the Icy Wind. Niantic has some other plans. Actually, no, it wasn't Niantic this time. I'm not going to blame them. This was the internet, my entire city was just not good yesterday. Either way, going to soak up that damage on Seal because Seal's actually quite tanky. And swap to Sandshrew here, trying to just get a farm down. I really don't want to be throwing Night Slashes at Vullaby because they're resisted. But unfortunately, I swap in Cottonee, also resist Night Slash. So, a bit unfortunate, but the one benefit of Night Slash, throwing resisted Night Slash, is you get the boost. So we get the boost here. Gonna be able to take this Cottonee almost all the way down. Like, look how much damage these Powder Snows do after a boost. Going to be within a Lick range, and then Seal just has to make it to 2 Icy Winds here versus this Vullaby. And one of the reasons Seal is so good here, that Lick, it's a one-turn move. In Little Cup, one-turn moves are absolutely busted. Like, they're already really good. But look how much damage, that's a resisted Lick, and it's just slowly ticking down. Because Pokemon don't have that much health in Little Cup, and Lick will do a minimum of 1 damage each time. So, it is a pretty big benefit. Another thing, many of these teams in Little Cup are double weak to Sandshrew. So if you are playing ABB and you can get their fire type out of the way, man, does Sandshrew go ham. Alright, Dino lead. This is pretty common. Usually you'll see this with a Bronzor, and guess what? I think this time it is a Bronzor. We'll see. Yeah, it's a Bronzor. That's another thing you want to bait out with Shelmet. You would think that Alolan Sandshrew with Night Slash and Steel typing to resist the confusion damage would be good against Bronzor, but Bronzor is literally that good. Bronzor beats Wooper, a ground type. Bronzor beats Vulpix, a fire type. In fact, it beats every fire type without baits. It's actually incredible how broken this Pokemon is in Little Cup, and honestly, if it were banned, Little Cup would actually be a pretty fun and good meta, I think. If Bronzor and Wynaut were banned, it would be really good. But the one thing is, even though Shelmet is kind of countered by Bronzor, you can win back switch with a big enough energy advantage. You can see Infestation and Bug Buzz are not resisted. They're just neutral because of Bronzor's psychic typing, and it just hits with neutral damage back. I'm going to go into my Alolan Sandshrew against that Dino, and they're going to swap right out to their Cottonee. They don't want to get farmed down here. It's kind of a similar situation to last time. A lot of these teams have like a Dark in the front and Cottonee in the back, or Dark in the front and Bronzor in the back. So when Seel swaps out, these Dark types are also weak to Ice, so everything works out pretty well. And this is almost the same situation as last time, except this time I don't get my lick through. Unfortunately, like I'm supposed to when the game is working properly. I do have to end up spending a shield here versus this Cottonee. And now, I'm in a bit of a rough spot. I'm going to no-shield the first one because I assume it's a bait. And then, it's all about just licking this Dino down. They have 2 shields remaining. There's no way I'm going to be able to make it to 3 moves. They're much lower, but look at this lick. 1-turn move. It's so good in Little Cup. Even if it was going to do 1 damage, it now does 2 damage. Because it has to do a minimum of 1 damage. So it, instead of just having a minimum of 1 damage, it adds 1 to it. So these 1-turn moves in Little Cup, they're just busted. And Seel absolutely destroys that Dino. Licks it down like a little popsicle or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's a Dino popsicle. Either way, Bronzor lead, this is a bit of a tricky one because this is one that you want to get with Seel. You actually have a great matchup versus Bronzor if they don't have Psyshock. Unfortunately, a lot of them are still running Psyshock despite PvPoke's recommended moveset being Heavy Slam and Payback. This is a Payback Heavy Slam one, so it takes them a long time to get there. I don't mind going for these Aqua Tails. The reason I'm not throwing an Icy Wind first like I normally would is because they're not locked into this matchup. They can always swap out, and I don't want them to be able to waste my energy like that. So I'm just going to keep throwing these Aqua Tails. Looks like I'm going to make it to another one. I'm going to win the Zero Shield, like Seel, I believe, should. It's IV dependent, too. With XL's Bronzor, it's like, you never know if... Like, the matchup's so different, because the XLs... The IVs actually change Bronzor's effective HP by quite a bit. So, gonna go into the Shelmet to get the farm down. I actually tank a move there. And they get to another one. But that's what Shelmet's for. Shelmet and Seel are both quite tanky. They can take these moves for Sandshrew, and Shelmet's just going to go to 100 energy here, farming down that Bronzor. In comes Vullaby, I almost said Mandibuzz, but just baby Mandibuzz. And I'm going to throw a big Bug Buzz at it. Deals half. Shelmet's so good. They're going to... No shielded, actually. I kind of expected that due to the fact that they're already down a shield. People generally won't want to go down 2 shields. So, no reason to bait. And then Wooper comes in. This is a counter to Alolan Sandshrew, but with shield advantage and a slight energy advantage, it's no longer really a counter. So I will have to shield these not very effective body slams, but that's okay. I really don't mind. It looks like I'm going to be able to farm down from this HP, and as long as I end with a move here, I'm going to be able to throw it at the Vullaby. I'm pretty sure Alolan Sandshrew beats Vullaby in CMPA. Like, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it does. And Vullaby actually one of the newer additions to this cup. I think it's probably the only Pokemon that I don't remember seeing it all last time around. I don't know if it just wasn't released, but I don't remember seeing it around at all, and now it's in the meta. So that is another thing to consider. And it can beat Bronzor, actually, with Feint Attack. So I think it is a welcome addition to the meta. Alright, next game, Feebas. What does Feebas even have? Oh, it has the ability to tank this. My opponent, Garchomp Glory, actually looks like he is just trying to get some rewards here, and that's what happens when there's an unranked season, right? People just don't care quite as much. Either way, I'm going to take that win. Even without this win, it's a positive set, right? 3 out of 4 wins legitimately, and then 1 out of 1 wins illegitimately. So we take those, I guess. And on to the next. We have a Bronzor lead. Yet again, we'll see if this one has Psyshock, so you can kind of see how that matchup goes. Yeah, these licks add up. Like, look how much damage they're doing. The problem is, Bronzor is just so tanky. Like, the licks are doing decent damage, it's just the charge moves from Seel that don't really do anything here. Yeah, this one has a Psyshock, so You'll be able to see how that goes. I'm trying to throw with good timing here. Throw as close to the end of the confusion as possible without CMP tying, just so they don't get an extra confusion through, because if they get an extra confusion through that this matchup is just essentially over. Yeah, but the Aqua Tails add up, and a lot of times they actually try and get a little bit fancy and farm. In this case, this guy did not farm at all. They actually went for the move right away. I'm going to come in with the Alolan Sandshrew here. I won't be able to farm down this time like I sometimes try, but I am going to farm up until right before they're at their next move. Throw the Night Slash and see if I can grab a shield. I don't, but my Sandshrew does have an energy advantage. Even just a couple Powder Snows of energy advantage is often enough in Little Cup, because every move, despite it being extremely cheap with the low health pools, it does a lot. By the way, Sandshrew, they brought Vullaby into Sandshrew, and this is the Feint Attack version, so I get out. I'm going to shield up a Foul Blade because I thought they might Brave Bird, and they're running the Double Dark in the back, and both these Pokemon are really weak to Alolan Sandshrew, so because Seel was able to stay in and take out the Bronzor, Sandshrew can kind of go to town, because the things that come with Bronzor are normally this and Cottony, and Sandshrew is really good versus all of them. So a big Body Slam landing on the Dino. Shelmet trying to extinct this thing, and I'm going to throw up a shield. Yeah, Shelmet's essentially the Meteor in this case. Going to end with a Bug Buzz too, which is going to guaranteed grab a shield. I actually should have thrown the Bug Buzz instead of the Body Slams here. It's likely the Body Slam will grab a shield anyways, because they're so low. And I'm going to be able to get to another Body Slam. I'm a bit worried that at this point they might be able to get to another Foul Play and take out my Sandshrew, but it looks like I'm going to be able to switch and Powder Snow down that Vullaby just in time. Yeah, so you can see we're running a team with no Bronzor. We're running into a lot of Bronzors, and we're able to beat them. So if you don't have that Bronzor, or you don't want to level up a Pokemon to level 40 for Little Cup, this is a pretty budget team, I would say. These Pokemon don't have to be leveled very high. Seel lead. This is kind of an important one too. I like to just farm up, take that Icy Wind, and look at my Seel's IVs. 0 defense, 13 HP. If you looked at the HP of their Seel and my Seel is dominating their Seel at that point because of Lick, the one-turn move. Like I said, HP pools are really low, so the HP IV is actually very important here. More important than in other leagues where you might want to favor defense over HP. So the Seel actually is one of the ideal Seels, I would say, in my opinion at least, for Little Cup. In this case, swapping the Shelmet, and guess what? Bronzor. Turns out Bronzor is almost on every team, at least at my rating level. And we'll see if Shelmet can take down this Bronzor this time. I actually get the defense drop on Bug Buzz, which is nice. And I will be able to get to this Bug Buzz again. I'm throwing with good timing. And once again, Shelmet wins CMP back versus Bronzor. I think people just aren't counting Shelmet very well, so they don't think I'm at a Bug Buzz. They think I'm just at a Body Slam. But Shelmet, yeah, it just exceeds expectations all the time. In this case, Seel is going to get off another move, and that's okay. I'm just here. My Seel is just a pillow. It's just here to take these moves. And once again, take another move, because they baited me. They still have some residual energy. Alolan Sandshrew can't really take an Aqua Tail, so I'm just saving up that energy. Gonna go into the Alolan Sandshrew, and it's a Cottony. This is a bit tough. I'm pretty sure Alolan Sandshrew wins the 2-shield, especially with a slight energy advantage. But I'm not confident. Those charms really hurt, but my opponent says enough. Enough Sandshrew violence. I'll let you have this one, so appreciate it, opponent. I actually think I would have won that one, but oh, I guess I had 2 full moves on the Seel, so ready to go. Oh god, I misplayed this one pretty bad. This is Wynaut. I was not used to seeing this Pokemon. This is the first Wynaut I saw in all of Little Cup. And I do throw the Icy Wind here because I really don't mind if they swap out. I do think my best answer versus Wynaut is Shelmet, so if they swap out, that's fine. In this case, I got the Icy Wind off first, so I don't mind no-shielding the Mirror Coat. It really is a pretty weak move. They're going to come in with their own Seel, and once again, the goal here, soak a move, throw my move, or sorry, throw an Icy Wind this time because they're locked in, and then come in with a Pokemon to take them out. Oh, and then I make a huge misplay. And you know what? You guys know how I got kind of lucky with the boost at the beginning? Well, this is how the boost backfires. You can't... There's a little thing called Sunken Cost Fallacy. Yeah, I still remember this game. Sunken Cost Fallacy. I get the boost, and because of that, I'm like, I'm going to shield my Sandshrew, because I need to keep my boosted Sandshrew alive. But the Icy Wind or Aqua Tail is not going to take out Sandshrew, especially after a debuff. And Wynaut comes in with 4 times super effective, double super effective counters. Not a recipe for success. The Night Slash does hit really hard. I actually get the boost again, but like I don't make it to another move. Seal can come in here and hopefully mop this up. But they swap out right away into Bronzor, and this is not a winning situation. We have seen Shelmet take down Bronzor already today. But not when Bronzor has a shield advantage. This is just, it's not, yeah, and they shield the first one too. I get the defense drop, which is nice. And then I try and play my way out of this. I figure I have a shot. But yeah, it's just not gonna happen. They've got to let through moves. I've got to get baits off, and they actually correctly shield 2 Bug Buzzes. Not that I attempted to bait. They're gonna get a move off here, and I'm sitting here scratching my head why I'm still in this game, letting this Bronzor user take advantage of me. They actually make a catch on the damage, and I just wanted to see kind of how much damage this debuffed Bug Buzz would do. Sorry, not the debuffed Bug Buzz, but the Bug Buzz against a defense drop. Yeah, I let him take me out at this point. They've earned that victory. I played very poorly, I think. Yeah, I think if I no-shielded my Sandshrew, I think I would have been in a much better position. I would have still got that Night Slash off on the Why Not. Would have been able to debuff the Bronzor with Icy Wind on my Seal. Anyways, Dino lead. Gonna swap out right away again. These infestations hurt the Dino. And they're gonna come with their own Sandshrew. This is another benefit. Sandshrew beats Shelmet. Unfortunately, it doesn't feel so good when you're on the other end of that. As, yeah, like, you deal a lot of damage with Bug Buzz. But these Night Slashes, they add up. The Powder Snows, they add up. And in this case, I'm just going for the Body Slam. I figure if I get the Body Slam off here instead of going for the next Bug Buzz, I can actually force switch by just shielding. But do I decide to? Yeah, I decide to shield. And take down the Sandshrew. One more infestation. I should have a move ready to go too. And unfortunately, it is a Seal coming in, so they're going to get an energy advantage. I'm going to throw the Bug Buzz. Just guarantee a shield. They shield. Should have baited. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten another move off, so no, I shouldn't have baited. What am I saying? Anyways, Seal comes into Seal because I want that that energy used up, and in comes Dino. I did not realize Dino had Crunch. This is why you do your research. I thought it had Dark Pulse, and I'm like, there's no way this Dino is at a Dark Pulse. They're baiting me. Turns out it's Crunch. So they actually get there a little bit faster than its big brother, the Zweilous. So yeah, unfortunately that Dino did quite a bit of damage to my Seal, and yeah, I mean, my Seal is good HP IVs, but it's not good enough to come back from what is a very, very bad matchup, or a very big HP differential. Another Bronzor lead. I mean, there's not too many other types of leads, and they're actually going to swap out of this into Seal, which is very interesting. Means they have 2 answers to Seal here, and it probably means that their Bronzor is not running Psyshock. So their Seal's going to throw an Icy Wind off. I'm going to just do the same plays before, throw my Icy Wind. And yeah, get into the Shelmet in this case because my Sandshrew is the better answer versus Bronzor. You always want to go into your second best answer here because this Seal is essentially just going to debuff it into Oblivion regardless of what comes in. And it's not going to be able to hit back very hard against the Bronzor. I'm a bit worried that I'm going to get farmed down by the Bronzor. I actually probably should have thrown that Body Slam to preserve a little bit more HP so I can deal some more damage. Because yeah, these Icy Winds aren't going to get me low enough. But I do have a lot of energy left. We'll be able to throw quite a bit at this Bronzor. The problem is my Seal is like half HP. So it's not that classic Seal Bronzor matchup. I'm actually going to save my Shelmet here because it's debuffed. And oh no, they actually... Okay, this player is insane. They somehow saved their vault. I swapped in Shelmet? Oh no, I didn't. I see. ABB didn't work out because I didn't swap out. But they have their vault picks left for my Sandshrew in the back, and it just gets farmed down. I'm able to grab a shield with Sandshrew, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But now I'm in a pretty rough spot. This Bronzor is still alive. It still has a decent amount of HP. And it's a mountain to climb, this Bronzor. Like, this thing is so tanky. I'm just trying to get to the Icy Wind here. I go for Icy Wind instead of Aqua Tail because I want to survive more moves from this Bronzor. I'm going to go straight into my Shelmet and feel like Doctor Strange right now. 14 million different combinations, and I only win in one of them. We got to figure out how this happens. I'm going to go for the Body Slam bait here, hoping that they realize they need to shield. And because of that, I'm going to barely be able to get to this Bug Buzz. But still, it might not be enough to take out the Bronzor. In fact, this Bronzor is going to be able to get to a move, is going to be able to take out my Shelmet. And Seal needs to be able to lick this thing down before it takes one more confusion. And it does. Seal's able to clinch the job. Oh, man. Love this team. Every Pokemon on it just feels so good. Able to hang with all the Bronzor teams as well. So, that's it. That's the video. Once again, trying out some shorter videos for a little bit here, seeing how they do. I know some of you guys have mentioned that you do like the longer videos, but some people like more videos too, so it is a little bit hard to please everyone. I am reading your comments, I am hearing your feedback. It just yeah, it is tough. And yeah, I heard the feedback about the music being too loud, stuff like that. Very important for me to hear. Really it is, because that's something that I don't know. And I remember back in the day the feedback about, what was the feedback about? Oh yeah, like cutting out the caching animation, stuff like that. That stuff really helped change my channel and shape it into what it is. So your feedback is extremely important to me. And thanks for commenting and everything. Honestly, it helps and it means a lot. And of course, what also helps, it means a lot, my Patreon supporters. Honestly, you guys are the reason that I can keep doing what I'm doing here. So appreciate it a bunch. Hope this doesn't offend any of you guys that I've moved this to kind of more of a credits scenario. Because I appreciate you guys a ton. I just like jumping straight into the video nowadays. It saves like 30 seconds of your lives as well. Anyways, thanks for watching.